Hey everybody, Jared here. Had a lot of questions about meal prep, what to make, how to make it. So we've done this a couple times before, but we'll try and be a little bit more thorough this time around. So first things first, I've got a Instapot, pressure cooker, whatever you want to call it, with about 8 pounds of chicken in there. Just some basic seasoning, salt, pepper. I think there's some soy sauce. Really just make up whatever you want for your chicken, the beef, pork, whatever you got going on in there. That's about to finish up here. So hopefully all the meat will be done. But again, you can bake, you can grill, you can saute, do whatever you want with your meat, your protein. But again, this just was nice and easy. Didn't have to do a slow cooker for the entire day. Just makes it really easy to do on one fell swoop. We've got all of our veggies here: sweet potatoes, onions, bunch of peppers, Brussels sprouts, some zucchini, and some broccoli. I'm going to be baking the sweet potatoes and the Brussels sprouts, so we'll cut them up and put them on a baking sheet. And with the peppers, the zucchini and broccoli, I'm going to use this big wok here. If you don't have a wok, just a big pot is just fine. It all works really well. We'll do a little bit of an Asian type thing this time around. So first things first, we're going to cut up all of this stuff, so you can watch me in high speed here. We're going to cut up all the veggies and get them prepped. All right, guys, so we got everything cut up. Brussels sprouts and potatoes, or sweet potatoes, are in the oven. They're just cooking at 400 degrees right now. So we've got peppers and onions, we got broccoli, and we've got zucchini. Why we have these separately is, again, in MyFitnessPal, if you guys are logging your stuff, peppers and onions are their own little combo that you can put in. We're going to put broccoli and zucchini separate so that when we divide them equally between all the meals, it's easier to actually input that. So we're going to make 13 meals total. Normally make 15, but Lauren isn't coming in till later this week, so she only needs a couple meals for the week. I have 10, she'll have 3 for her lunches. So we're going to get all this basically cooked up. We're going to put these in the wok, maybe these in some separate pans. I've got the chicken over here resting. Once the sweet potatoes are done and the Brussels sprouts are done, we're going to basically divide and conquer. So I'm going to cook all this stuff up. Just use basic seasoning, guys. I'm going to put, since I've got a wok, I'm going to use some soy sauce and some sesame oil. I'm going to use a teaspoon of oil per meal, so 13 teaspoons total. And the pepper and onions, again, dividing it equally. It's not the best system, but if you divide all equally, coat everything correctly, you should be just fine. And it's our cooking fat. And so yeah, we'll be back in just a minute. All this stuff will be cooked, and we'll show you guys how we divide everything out. All right. So we've got everything cooked up. We've got broccoli, Brussels sprouts, sweet potatoes, peppers and onions, and zucchini. Now, the question we get a lot of times is, well, how do I break this up? How do I make this work with my MyFitnessPal when I've got all these different things? So the way that I just did this, right, is I go my little notepad here. You just do some math. Luckily, you have a phone. Measure out the individual bowls, right? So this large glass bowl is 1 kilo, 525 grams, so 1,525 grams, all right? The peppers, so you weigh this by itself on your food scale. If you don't have a food scale, you should absolutely have one. This is a Cuisinart. I literally think I have the same battery in it from when I bought it, like 4 years ago. I use it every single week. It is a lifesaver. So you 1,525 grams, all right, for the empty bowl, and then you dump the actual contents into it, so peppers and onions. Those weigh 3,168 grams. So you subtract 3,168 minus 1,525. That gets you 1,643. So that's how much the actual peppers and onions weigh. Now, why do you need this? So what we'll do is divide 1,643 divided by 13. That's how many meals I'm making. And that means I'm gonna put in 126 grams in each and every meal. All right, so that's how we get the individual portion amount. So what the great thing about this is, when I put in peppers and onions in MyFitnessPal, I will put 1 gram as a serving, and then put 126, and then it will give me the total calorie count for each one of these. So again, for instance, the medium bowl here, 512 grams for just the bowl, 1,358 grams of zucchini. Subtract those from each other, 846 grams of zucchini. All right, that's what the actual weight of the zucchini is. Divide that by 13, 65 grams of zucchini goes in each and every one of the meals that I'm gonna be making. So let's, we'll run through this. So this will be how I prepare every single one of the meals. So I've zeroed out my scale, so it says 0. All right, so large glass bowl, so that's my peppers and onions. I need 126 grams. It's probably not the best utensil to be using for this. Look at that, almost spot on. 129. Man, that's good. All right, so 126, we got 129 there. Again, not the end of the world. So we're gonna move on to the medium bowl, which is my zucchini. So 126, I need 65 grams of zucchini. So I'm gonna go up to 191. Oh, a little bit too much there. Boom. Spot on. Moving on to our next bowl. Moving on to the next bowl. We're gonna go up to 264. So I'm just adding all these portions together. 264. Going to our sweet potatoes. We're gonna go up to 350. One more. All right. And then finishing out with the broccoli, 53 grams of broccoli. So we're gonna go up to 403. All right, so that is all the veggies. And again, we've already incorporated the cooking fat into the peppers and onions with the sesame seed oil. So again, that was 1 teaspoon per meal, so 13 teaspoons total. only thing I'm gonna do now, so I'm gonna prepare all 13 of these, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna go in with the chicken and actually make, so I get 6 ounces of chicken per meal, Lauren will get 3. So the last thing I'll do is just when I'm done with all these, get the food scale back out for the chicken and add in 6 ounces for 10 of them and then 3 ounces for the last. So we'll be back once we get done with that. All right guys, so we've got my 10 meals, we got Lauren's 3 meals here. Also left to do, so we've got a big old, this is all the chicken that was in the Instapot. So I'm just gonna run through and add 6 ounces per meal to mine, and then 3 ounces per meal for Lauren's. So again, whenever I'm logging this into MyFitnessPal, so the way this will work, if you guys have been using this, is I can put the meal in and then save it for another day in my meals. So I'm gonna go in, type in peppers and onions. I'm gonna put 126 grams. It'll tell me how much is in there. I will go down to, what do I got? That was Brussels sprouts. So that'll put 65 grams. And then zucchini, 73 grams. Sweet potatoes, 86 grams. And then 53 grams of broccoli. And then we'll tally up. That'll be mainly carbs. I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of sesame oil per meal, because it should be divided relatively equally, and then 6 ounces of chicken. And that's how I will add that in. Make sure you save it for the following day so you can use that again. I did have a couple questions. Fast way to do it and how long ahead do I prefer to do it? Again, I really started this at 7, and between shooting and doing this, we're about 2 hours. So it's not a terrible amount of time to get all your food done for the entire week. I make it for the entire week. I've eaten it up to basically 7 days after and been just fine. Again, freeze them if you want, so you can make these, put 3 in the freezer, eat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, take it out for the following days. From getting chewy and a weird taste in the microwave. Don't really know, but I think if you put chicken by itself in the microwave, it's probably gonna get a little weird. So maybe, you know, put something else with it. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. How to keep it tasting good at the end of the week. You know, salsa's only got, it is high in sodium, I get that, but it's only got 10 calories for 2 teaspoons. And that does a pretty good job of adding some flavor to things. And then someone asked how to weigh and everything. That's kind of what this whole thing's about, right? So zeroing out your scale, weigh your whatever your container prior, put the food in there and then subtract the difference and then divide it by how many meals you're making. So really hope this helps, guys. If you have any questions, just please ask one of the coaches. We'd love to help you guys out. Thanks.